Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
Dan, the sun's shining. Gary's misunderstood. Exeter City, sometimes bad, sometimes good. It's a standard week in the summer months in Exeter.
Yeah, we've been here before.
We have been here before. And I don't mean this office.
It's, yeah, a bad game, a good game. It's the end of the season.
It's the beginning of another season.
Summer's in the air, you know?
Yeah.
It's sort of fake summer at the minute, but it's given us a little taste. Winter is over. That's true. Both, you know, metaphorically
Yeah.
and literally.
Indeed.
Yeah, go on. What happened?
Well, it was home to Disney Plus's own Wrexham AFC on Saturday. 2-0 defeat.
Is that what channel it's on? Disney Plus?
Disney Plus.
Ah, I thought it was Netflix.
No, Disney Plus.
Disney.
And then it was a 2-1 win away to Barnsley yesterday.
Yeah.
Barnsley not owned by any TV channel.
Not yet.
E4's Barnsley.
There's always time. Yeah.
UK Gold's Barnsley.
UK drama on the pitch.
QVC's Plymouth Argyle. Is that still a thing, QVC?
I believe so, yeah. There's many. The God channels.
Oh, yeah. God TV's Leyton Orient,
Yeah.
etc. There's so many mad channels, aren't there?
God bless them.
Al Jazeera's Torquay United.
I mean, that would be bringing in the big bucks, probably,
It
wouldn't it?
would, yeah. It's a big channel. Fox TV's
What's the worst one you could have?
Dagenham and Redbridge. The worst one.
I suppose morally, something like, you know, something...
Well, GB News is Rotherham United.
Yeah, you could have something like that.
Yeah.
But then you could also have... At least that would give you some cash and exposure, whereas you could have, like, you know, 5 Star, or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
you know,
5.
Like,
Yeah.
where you're not even getting any money.
No, 5 stars, Bristol Rovers. Definitely. Doesn't even look like a football ground. Anyway, unrepresented on TV's Barnsley last night. So
Well, apart from it was on Sky, but yeah.
It was on Sky, that's true. But aren't we all, in a way, on Sky?
Yeah.
Tell us about Wrexham. I wasn't there, I was working.
Crap. Next.
Okay. Ryan Reynolds, was he there?
No.
What's his name?
McElhenney.
Was he there?
No.
Blake Lively, was she there?
What's she got to do with anything?
She's married to Ryan Reynolds. She sometimes turns up.
Oh, no, she wasn't there.
What's he called? Will Ferrell, was he there?
No.
Was the guy that plays Howard from Last of the Summer Wine there?
Yeah, he was there.
Oh, yeah, good. It's nice to see him.
It was... If we'd done a podcast in between those two games, we'd be recording a different podcast, I think, because it was so shit. Like, we lost.
Yep. We expected to lose.
Yeah, but I don't think... But that's one thing expecting to lose. It's another thing to now expect to just not even give you anything to get up for at all.
Full
you just kind of
ground,
think like, right, well, we're playing them, they're on telly, so we don't even... That's just forget it. No, you can't even expect us to have a shot because we're not going to.
We're playing against the might of Aladdin, Mickey Mouse.
We're in League One. There shouldn't be any team that we're like... should be satisfied with not having any shots, you know.
Agreed.
I just don't think that's a acceptable position. But again, we're not recording this podcast straight after that match, so that's not my real opinion, although it kind of is.
I mean, it was this
Alex
the epitome
Archer
of a
twatted
negative?
one over the bar. I think it got a deflection at one point.
This kind of game is the epitome of the worst of Colwell's City, isn't it?
It is. The just absolutely non-existent attack. Just pinging these balls up towards Josh McGuinness for him to flick on to, you know, the ghost of Jamie Cureton. Yeah.
I think the ghost of Jamie Cureton would do better.
Quite possibly, yeah. You know. But it didn't matter ultimately. It was only 2-0. They weren't even that good.
Yeah, okay.
They weren't that good. They got funny
James
thing.
McClean?
They got James McClean in there. They got Jay Rodriguez.
Really?
Yeah, he's playing for him.
Right.
And then Stephen Fletcher comes on as well.
Yeah.
Who Gary Caldwell played with.
Right.
I guess for Scotland. I couldn't really work out where else he would have played.
Was
played
Fletcher at Celtic?
Nah.
He was all Sunderland, wasn't he? And
It's only Burnley, and it was only Scotland from what I could see.
okay.
So they got all them playing.
Mm.
I mean, Fletcher comes on late on, but but they're not. This isn't peak Jay Rodriguez,
No.
and it's not even. It's peak James McLean. That's probably 10 years ago. It's probably when he was like absolutely brilliant for Sunderland.
Yeah.
He's still good. Great cross on him. But they didn't. It's not like it was like 2-0 was fair enough.
Okay.
It wasn't like it could have been 5. It was what it was.
But we never looked. So we never looked in it at all.
We never give him a go. We never give it a go, and it was just really disappointing. But we did react to it on the Tuesday, so fair play. And now the season's finished because we've got 48 points. As you like to mention a lot,
I do.
Plymouth Argyle went down on 50 points.
Yes.
But they were the last team to go down with more than about 45.
Yeah.
And if you look back at the league, that 50 number, that's no longer, that's not a thing.
No.
Argyle and the few seasons previous to that was 1920, right? They got 50 and went down.
Right, yeah.
The seasons before that, the 4 or so seasons before that, everyone going down had high 40s.
Okay.
Or 50 or more, ish. But ever since then, no one's had more than, I think, 46.
Okay.
So the new magic number basically is 45.
Okay. Which we're well past.
We're well past it. I don't know if it's mathematically impossible for us to go down.
Not yet.
But it's as good as.
Yeah,
there would have to be such an incredible kind of turn of events for us to now get relegated. It would involve not only us losing every single match, but also all the teams below us somehow managing to win almost all of them. I mean, not quite that bad, but it's pretty unlikely, put it that way. But we are just safe. Let's be honest. It's not going to happen, is it?
No.
We're in League One again next season.
So there's 7 games to go. So should we talk about Barnsley first and then talk about the league?
Yeah.
So we went to Oakwell last night, 250 amazing away supporters who were making an absolute racket.
I saw 180 something.
Oh, if I read it wrong.
I don't know.
Anyway, you could hear them all over the telly.
Oh yeah, you could. And obviously sometimes that's where they put the mics.
They were perched really high up in a corner.
Yeah. It's a massive ground and there's no one in it.
No.
I mean, why would you? At this point in the season.
Yeah, well, indeed.
So they had sort of vague hopes before this match of maybe making the playoffs, but I think it's pretty unlikely. It's even less likely now.
No, they're 9 points off the playoffs.
This was more like it. Caleb Watts is starting.
Yep.
That's encouraging. Pat Jones is starting. I think
Yep.
he might have started the Wrexham game as well, possibly. But, and we came out...
Straight out of the traps.
We did. We'd had an effort on target. We'd had a shot early on in the match. We love going there. We beat them every season.
I know, it's funny, isn't it?
That's 3 in a row now.
And they've been quite good previous season. I think the guy on the telly said they've been in the playoffs last 3 seasons.
Yeah, well, I think it was the season before last, wasn't it? That they were on an unbelievable run, and we ended it by beating them up there.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So we are their kind of bogey team now, especially at home, and once again
Take
dispatched.
that more for.
And they weren't even like they did. I mean, they may well have. The players were certainly playing like they thought playoffs were unlikely.
Yep.
And the breakthrough came. Lovely, lovely little through ball from Jerry Francis.
Yeah.
And I think it was Trevor who had the initial shot. That was blocked. And then
Someone else shoots.
Watts has a shot. That's blocked. Trevor knocks it in. He'd had one just before that where a little bit of a kind of like who should hit it. Pat Jones or Trevor. It ends up with Trevor right over the bar. But yeah, minutes later he'd scored. And they was like, well, this is good. Really good half.
Yeah.
Alex Hartridge again. Absolutely outstanding.
Sign him up. I mean, seriously, sign him up.
I'd say so.
Oh, definitely.
It depends on the plan for next season, doesn't it?
That.
As in, you got if is it true about Fecco? I think we should still sign Hartridge, given that he won't be presumably that he's leaving Wickham. I'm presuming he leaves Wickham. I don't know his contract situation.
Yeah,
I haven't looked it up. Don't know, but let's say we could get him for, for a good price.
Well, I'd pay the same as whatever we sold him for.
Well, they didn't tell him for anything because he's finished his end of his contract.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
But let's just say whatever the situation is, we could get him. I'd say get him because Fecco, I think, looks excellent, but he's always injured, isn't he? So
yeah, and inevitably, if you're playing...
Let's have them both.
Because
Hartridge could play in the middle or on the left of that back three. And
as we saw...
We're not doing the old knock it about at the back thing anymore this season. Whether Caldwell wants to try and do it again next season, I don't know. But if we are going to go for the... play a bit more like we have done since the January transfer window, which involves a good deal of hoofing, and a good deal of heading it away, and not so much, still some, building from the back.
We've not turned into
no, but there's a decent amount of it. Then Hartridge is the man for the job.
Yeah, I agree.
Ryan Trevitt really looked like he's kind of hitting his stride, but I think that maybe he's out for the season now because he looked like he went off with a hamstring injury to me.
Yep.
And that might be that.
Yeah.
Again.
Another
player who, once they get going, has looked really good 2 seasons in a row. And just as they get going good, broken. It's broken.
He's broken it. So it was 1-0 at half-time. They equalised on about the hour mark. And for a while, looked like they were pushing for the winner, didn't they?
Lovely little counter-attack goal, that.
Yes, it was. It was, because we were attacking at the time, weren't we?
Yeah.
Close to scoring.
There was no one up there end of the pitch. I think, breakaway, and then scored by Humphreys. Where did they sign him in January, or they sign? I can't remember about that guy. Apart from he's got a lot of tats.
Yes, he has
More tats than any of the players on our team.
I couldn't see where the beard ended and the tattoos started.
Yeah, it was like so many neck tattoos. It's like permanent polo neck sort of style.
That's
isn't
right.
it?
Yeah. Stephen Humphreys.
Who's our most tattooed player?
McGuinness.
Has he got a lot of tats?
He's got some.
Has he?
Yeah.
He ain't got any sort of neck or face tats though, has he?
No, I don't think we've got any. Oh, I tell you, it might be his McDonald defender.
Yeah, he's got like a lot of arm tats and whatnot, hasn't he? But he's nothing above the t-shirt, the neck hole.
I can't think of a City player who's had the neck.
Jev
tattoos.
had a lot of tats, didn't he?
Yeah.
But I'm not sure he had any on the old neck. But write in. Who's had the most tattoos?
Maybe you've tattooed an Exeter City player.
Yes. Where do they get their tattoos done?
Indeed.
I'd like to know that.
Anyway, I felt like their goal was coming, but we defended really well. And then with like 10 minutes to go, some excellent running from McGuinness, who, by the way, I know we've been down on him this year sometimes. He's never stopped running. It still feels like if the system was better for him...
I think we've always said that.
I think we have said that. I mean, I stand by it. Anyway, he did some really good running, tracked the defender.
He was superb. He wasn't even bad against Wrexham either. Like I said, he was flicking it on. It's not his fault there's no one there.
No.
What's he supposed to do? Yeah, he was superb last night. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, of course, I think there's so much potential in our squad.
Agreed.
That for large parts of this season was just kind of was wasted.
This is Gary's final test, isn't it? Can he...
There is no finality to any of these things, as we know.
No. And final test for me, can he redeem himself in my eyes? I mean, he doesn't need it, does he? He doesn't care, but will I feel better about him? Yes, if he increases the amount of kind of play we saw last night against most teams next season and loses a few number 10s and brings in a few number 9s.
If we played like we played last night in that style, I don't mean as good as that, but with that kind of approach in every match, and we had exactly the same amount of points as we do currently, I think people would be like really enthusiastic about Caldwell and be really up for it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the points total. There's nothing wrong with he's absolutely achieved the goal.
Yeah.
He's up there with our in terms of like league
achievements.
success.
Yep.
He's up there with almost anybody.
Yep.
It's absolutely drab most of the time. It's just like soul destroying to watch.
Like we've said,
most
since
of the
January,
time.
there has been some less drab moments.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it's patchy.
It's
I'd
patchy
say
and weird how it happens.
it's the norm is to be kind of like pretty bad to watch,
Agreed.
with kind of moments of it being good.
If the moments of being good become, even just half the time we're seeing that,
Yeah.
or more, ideally.
I just find but you know what will happen is the next match, I know, you let off the hook a bit by Trevitt being injured or whatever, but the next match, just like Watts won't be in the squad or something. That's what I find frustrating about it, is that you think like, oh, he's good. Like Pat Jones last night came off at half time. Fair enough, we won the game, it was fine, but like, I feel like we need people like Caleb Watts, who's kind of like who've got this kind of instinct to attack, which kind of overrides the plan almost.
Yeah. Anyway,
it was really good. Honestly, we played brilliantly last night.
Well,
I could watch that happily all season. That sort of thing.
absolutely. And like we've always,
so a bit of a different. Old Nisco was back in the team.
Yeah.
First time in about 5 matches he's played.
Yeah.
And I forgot about him. I forgot
what his.
I forgot about his whole deal.
Yeah. Okay.
Worked
okay last night.
No, he's rubbish, isn't he? He's rubbish. He is rubbish. You can't just run. You've got to have more than that. Your man can't kick a ball. He's like Torquay level.
He is probably Torquay level. Well, Matt Jay can kick the ball a lot better than him.
That's what I'd love to swap them to. Can we do a swap?
Maybe.
It's not fair on them.
He'd probably be really good in the National South.
It'd be unbelievable. Yeah. Well, maybe. You still need to be able to kick a ball.
You need to be able to get it somewhere near another player, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, the league table looks quite healthy for us. Well, that's pushing it, but fine. We're
healthy. We've got high blood pressure.
Well, what's interesting
We've got high cholesterol, but we're not. But it's not like dangerously high.
No, that's right. So we're in 16th. Interestingly, 13th place, which is Stevenage, are only a point ahead of us. And 21st place, which is the start of the relegation zone, they remain 9 points behind us. Burton. Now, on another note, it looks pretty bad for Bristol Rovers, who are dropping like a stone.
They keep losing and Burton keep picking up points.
Well, Burton have a game in hand over Bristol Rovers, which if they win, they overtake them, putting Bristol Rovers in the relegation zone.
Yes.
Which seems like the direction of travel. I'd suggest that Shrewsbury are definitely down, and Cambridge are almost certainly down. Shrewsbury are 10 points off of Burton. Cambridge
they're down, all right.
Cambridge are 7 points off of Burton.
It's only that last place now, isn't it?
Well, Northampton, it's maybe the last two, if Crawley managed to do something remarkable. They're a terrible goal difference. So it's probably going to be Shrewsbury, Cambridge, Crawley, and then one of Northampton, Bristol Rovers, Burton, probably.
In a way, I say fair enough, because we are, of those teams, like Burton, Bristol Rovers, Northampton, we're in that crew, aren't we?
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like over the last kind of 5-10 years, that's us lot, innit? We're in that little. If you were going to group them, if you're going to just arbitrarily kind of group teams into like they're all like that, I'd put us in there.
I'd say also true of Cambridge and Shrewsbury. I'd say that's our group.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. They're in there as well.
Yeah, so that's right. To come out above them is fine.
Absolutely.
And we're ahead of Mansfield and Wigan. We're just behind Rotherham and Peterborough.
Yeah, and all those teams I put actually in the one above us.
Yeah, agreed.
They
hit the championship sometimes.
They're all ones that go in the championship sometimes. They're kind of... what I'm saying is basically it's like the ones around us and the ones going down are like League 1, League 2.
Yeah.
And then the next one is like League 1 Championship. And we're kind of, even though we've never been to the Championship, we're not likely to, we are kind of more in that kind of group. Because, there's no chance of any of them going to the Championship anytime soon, is there now?
Oh, it's funny though, isn't it? Like... It is weird. We've been dreadful.
This is vibes-based, this idea I've been saying.
But we've been dreadful this season, right? What, 3 wins?
Largely, yeah.
3 wins since the turn of the year.
Yeah.
4 now, maybe. And yet we're only 15 points off the last playoff place.
Yeah.
So, although it seems insane to say it, it wouldn't take much.
You think we're going to get playoffs?
No, I don't, because of
That's what I'm hearing.
of our operating methods, which is a manager who doesn't like to score goals and a board of trustees who don't like to get rid of that manager.
We have. I mean, it's still an issue. I know we've survived this season. Blah blah blah. We can't go on scoring
so few
and shooting that. Yeah.
That's right.
That little. We can't, because one year it will get us. You can't.
It's only 9 points. That's not a lot.
Exactly. One year we will get got. If you just don't have any shots, eventually you're going to go down, aren't you? But I mean, fair enough. This year you can't take anything away from.
Well, in a results-based game,
the squad,
we've got enough results.
Absolutely.
Fact.
Have
we enjoyed it? No. Fact.
Yes. Has anyone enjoyed it? Probably not.
Probably not.
Some little kids who just like going to the match and
of
to
course.
see their
When
mates.
you're seeing it for the first time and you're excited to even be at the football, of course you're enjoying it.
Yeah, but that's not enough, is it? They don't count, those people.
They count to a certain extent.
They don't even pay full ticket price. Concessions don't count.
Yeah, but then...
I think if you're getting in on a concession, you shouldn't be allowed an opinion.
Wow, there we are. That is fascism.
I'm looking at you, the East Devon Grecians, or the old boys, whatever they are. Is that the old boys?
Yeah, no, it's the senior Grecians who definitely have paid their dues. Whatever. Okay, anyway, all I'm saying is, it's mad, isn't it? It doesn't take much to be either in the relegation zone or to be pushing the playoffs. And given that how bad it's been, we could have totally gone either way.
Yeah.
As in, you change the way you play and you have more shots. It's not that hard to imagine picking up 10 more points.
Yeah.
You don't get lucky in some of those games. Like Barnsley could have totally got a second goal last night, and then we're losing away from home, and then we're 3 points, then we're 6 points away from relegation,
Yeah. I mean, we addressed the problem, didn't we? Which was you got two problems. One is keeping the ball out of the net, and I get it. That's the first thing you do. You plug the hole in the boat first.
Well, that's a thing you do.
But you plug the hole in the boat first so it doesn't sink, and then you try and find some oars to get you to the, ultimately, and that's, the oars are the goals,
Yeah, but that's Colwell's way of thinking of it, isn't it? My boat's in deficit. How do I get it to a place where it's at least ship shape?
Yeah.
You could think, I'm just going to attack so that we get to the other side of this sea.
Well, that could also work. You might get to shore before the water
takes you
engulfs
over.
your
That's
vessel.
That's another philosophy that you could have. So if you're only ever trying to plug your boat, you're never getting to the other side. If you're only trying to row to the other side, you're going to get caught out in terms of leakage from time to time. You might, but you might not.
Well, it depends how good your rowers are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Gary's taken the view: safety first, secure the boat first.
It depends how aggressive your coxswain is with his accent.
Indeed. So this is the other news, which Exeter City hasn't been...
I feel like this is after the break news, isn't it?
All right, we'll come to that, shall we? But just to say, if a Scottish man's talking to you, listen to what the words are that he's saying and not the way he's saying it.
Please.
More of that in a second. Welcome back to the Big Bang Theory podcast. Remember, you can email us, bigbankpod@gmail.com. The benefit of email, Dan, is that it doesn't matter how aggressive your accent is, the words are the things that come through.
Yeah, unless you type in Scottish.
Yeah, or in caps lock.
Yeah.
Don't do that. So this is the news. You might recall that Gary got sent off. Where was it? Away at... I've forgotten now. Last Saturday's game.
Yeah.
What was it? Lincoln.
Right.
Away at Lincoln.
Yeah.
And he cried unfair justice.
Yes, he did. Yes, it's absolutely bizarre, really. This, and it made it to the national.
Yeah, it's been all over the national news.
Because
what's his excuse? Can you give it to us?
So he
please?
says, "I can't." This is what he says. "I can't obviously speak in my own accent because it comes across very aggressive. So I'm going to need to look at it because I do accept that it can't keep happening. But this time I feel like it was very, very harsh. A yellow card would have been more than enough." And then it goes on to say, Colwell, who was also sent off against Wickham in January, said even his wife Jen has misunderstood his accent for aggression. Quote, Jen complains all the time how aggressive I am to her, to the kids, to the dog. I think it's the Scottish accent. I don't know if it...
I don't know, Gary.
The dog.
The dog.
Why are you screaming at your... We've seen him scream at those players from the...
Yes, we've all seen it.
Is he there when his wife's trying to make the packed lunch or his kids are trying to do the homework and he's kind of in that kind of crouched position, kind of pointing and screaming at his kids, going like, no, right up next to the margin. You know, like...
Yeah, we all saw how he treated Millennium Alley.
Underline the date.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Divorced my head and died.
Yeah. I don't know if they'd be learning that in Scotland.
No, but his kids go to school in England.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
Curious. Anyway, it's made it everywhere. It's been talked about on the radio.
Well, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
The Guardian.
Don't be an idiot.
There was a Guardian opinion piece from a Scottish woman.
What are you on about?
Who said she does sometimes find that people don't understand her accent, but she also pointed out that Gary's from Stirling, a very nice Scottish accent. He's hardly from the depths of Glasgow. That's her words, not mine. So he's...
yeah, well, there's some very kind of soft Scottish accents out there, aren't there? You know, think of most of them, really.
Yeah.
And Edinburgh, your Aberdeens.
Yeah.
They're very, if anything, it's the opposite.
Anyway.
It's not like he's like a full-blown Glaswegian.
I wouldn't normally offer advice to husbands or fathers or dog owners, but I wonder, Gary, if maybe you need to speak a bit nicer to everyone.
I mean, maybe just don't scream at your dog.
That would be...
Don't scream at your kids.
Point number one.
Whatever accent it's in. I mean, you could put on a plummy English accent if you want, but I think if you're going to scream in your kids and your dog and your wife's face, they're still going to find you aggressive, mate. He also said...
Curious, that is curious.
That he needs to become more Anglified, which I think is a word that he's made up.
That's definitely a word he's made up. Yeah. Presumably it means anglicised.
Yes. Anyway, funny.
I mean,
he didn't get sent off this week, so maybe he has affected some sort of... Maybe he's gone for a Chinese accent. Why does it have to be...
I hope he's not.
Why does it have to be English? If he's going to put on an accent that isn't his own, what difference does it make? What is?
Yeah, maybe he's just
maybe he's gone for a West African accent.
I'd like to think that he's just adopting the accent of the place he's in. So in Exeter, he's giving it, good Devon accent.
Yeah, but how does that help? Because what if he's in a place that has quite an aggressive accent?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
bad luck. What's the least aggressive accent out there?
I mean, it's hard to say. Well, I think probably Devon accent's not that aggressive.
I don't know.
You can use it aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, you can use any accent aggressively. I've heard some angry farmers in my time.
But if you're like, get on my boy, how's it going?
The problem is, though, that he's suggesting using this while he's wildly remonstrating with a fourth official. So I don't think it matters. Again, same with...
Same as
with your kids and your dog and your wife. I just don't think it's the accent that's the problem. I think you know that, Gary. I think you know that. I think you might be making excuses. He's also saying that we've got a reputation for being undisciplined. I mean, we're the bottom of the disciplinary table, so it's not a reputation that's unjust.
More facts, Gary.
We might be bottom. We're down there, though.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
So, there you go.
Yeah, I mean...
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Paul Tisdale said some ridiculous things in his time.
He did.
I think he's been topped here.
You might be right.
Ever find...
Yeah.
Speaking of ex-managers, there's a nice interview with Matt Taylor on the internet.
I was there.
Yeah, don't know where.
Okay. I guess I'll just Google it.
Can't remember. Just have a look. Yeah, there won't be that many interviews with him anytime soon.
No, looking for a job, I suppose.
Yeah, looking for a job. Yeah.
So Bristol Rovers is his last club, wasn't it?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. End of the season's coming up.
Rotherham are looking for a manager.
Yeah. I mean, he did quite well there, really.
As might Bristol Rovers be quite soon.
Yeah, I don't think he'd want to go back there.
I don't think he'd want to go to either. But anyway, there's all sorts of other clubs he could go to. He might go to Scotland.
He might.
He talks about that a bit in the article. That's why.
Does he?
That, yeah.
It's yeah.
He was a scarier guy to me than Colwell.
Well, he kept his cards close to his chest, didn't he? But he was very
I'd be more
poker face.
Yeah, I'd be more scared of Taylor than I would Caldwell in any circumstance.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Even if I was a fourth official, for example.
Yeah, Matt Tabor looms up behind you.
Yeah,
Death pinch.
just like he had a look in his eye, didn't he, when he wasn't pleased that I wouldn't want to be on the wrong
when he
end.
didn't
of.
like the questions. He really did have a
Yeah,
look. But he answered them. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
that's ex-manager news.
Ex-manager news. Tisdale, of course, on his way to a Scottish title.
Flying high.
Yeah.
Paul Tisdale currently.
Anyway, there we are. So, season's winding down, really, isn't it? We're going to start to see rumours of departures and purchases and all that.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
We're starting to see the shape of the league next year. I mean, Birmingham are basically up, aren't they?
Yep.
It's going to be Wrexham or Wickham for automatics. And then the playoffs is quite packed, really, with Stockport, one of those.
Yeah. Well, we play Stockport next. So
Indeed.
this Saturday, home again.
Nice to be home.
I really want to see us. I mean, this sounds obvious. Let's approach it with that kind of same attitude we did at the weekend. I mean,
Well,
I'd be more surprised if we did do that, and less surprised if the approach is more kind of Wickham, not
Yeah.
Wickham, more like it was against Wrexham. Sorry.
Let's because we've got nothing to lose here. I'd be really interested to know because we've got a very poor record against
Anyone above us?
anyone above us.
Yeah.
Home game, nothing to play for. They've got plenty to play for.
Yeah.
Why not have a go?
Well, yeah.
See how it applies to against a better team.
I would think that it's a no-brainer now for Gary, because that's all he needs to do to
Appease us.
and to kind of rehabilitate his
Yeah.
the opinion of himself to the supporters. So
Yeah.
all you got to do is because everyone's perfectly happy with the work on paper.
Mm.
Just give it a go. It doesn't really matter if we lose. We won't lose that badly just by attacking a little bit more.
No.
I don't think this is kind of how the issue gets confused. So if you say that you'd like to see a bit more, you'd like to be more entertained, people think, oh, what, you mean you want to play like Barcelona, 2012 Barcelona? No. I think there's middle ground.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we showed it last night.
yeah,
That was the
exactly.
middle ground. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's against a team who were above us, who did have something to play for, just about.
Yeah.
And we need some of that at home, though, because that's how you really get people
Yeah.
back on side.
He's appeased the 200 that went to Barnsley and a few of us that watched it.
yeah.
But yeah, I know. I don't understand why you wouldn't. I think you're right. I'll be surprised if that's
Like I
the
said,
case.
Trevitt's going to be out again. I think Dimitri Mitchell is out again. He put some kind of, I don't know if I think this is, I don't know how reliable this is. I did see some tweets. I think that maybe he deleted where he's like, I hate football and stuff. I'm retiring,
really?
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't mean it. He's probably just kind of like, because he's frustrated being injured. But I think maybe that injury is going to keep him out. Maybe that's it for him for the season.
Okay.
Trevitt may be out. We don't know. But those are two of our better attacking players. So again, it's not all about Caldwell's decision to not do it. There are injuries, but
Yeah.
I still think that we can go for it more than we have done, even without those players. But yeah.
Okay.
And then the other bit of news.
Well, there's Wigan on Tuesday as well.
Oh, the Wigan away.
Home.
Home?
Wigan at home on Tuesday. It's a rescheduled.
So 2 home games this week, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, so there is. Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it could be good.
Could be good.
Excellent.
Wigan are now below us.
Yeah.
So again, we've got to throw the, go for it.
Who did they just appoint as their manager?
Oh, I don't know.
They
I
got
didn't
someone
see.
good in the end, didn't
Did they?
I mean, not sure good, but I think it was quite a bit of a...
As in, like, Caldwell was never getting it kind of good.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a bit of a week. And then also there's the news that, I think this is news now, that, that we're now, the third kit's going.
Oh, is it?
Well, that was Ryan Lowe.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So there's a sale on at the club shop.
Yeah.
Reduced
Which one's the third?
prices.
Blue?
No.
Black?
That horrible black one.
Right.
The reduced prices on the home shirt, because that's going.
We knew that.
But then also on the third shirt,
Oh.
which I think, assume means, I'm not sure if I've seen this confirmed, that is going.
Oh, right.
We pretty much have always been on a 2-year cycle with the kits, and then you do it every year. Home shirt 1 year, away in third the next year. So you have one or two new shirts every year, but we're not replacing all of them every year like bigger clubs do.
Yeah.
Last season was a bit different because we had to change them all at once because we'd had
the new Adidas,
and we had that special one. Trust shirt,
that's right.
Whatever. Yeah. So, but I thought we were back on schedule now with this kind of, and I'm pleased because I don't like that kit. One? I think it's horrible. It's one of the worst kits we've ever had, and everyone who voted for it should be ashamed of themselves, and anyone who bought it should be embarrassed.
Okay,
and publicly. Well, I am publicly.
You are publicly
right
shaming
now.
Yeah.
But they have chosen to listen to this. It's not like it's compulsory.
I think that still counts as public shaming.
Does it?
Yeah. I don't think there's such a thing as a compulsory public shaming.
Right. Well, sorry.
Maybe
no, it's not that bad. But anyway, the shirt's going.
Yeah. Okay. I hadn't missed that.
So there you go.
Might see a new shiny one.
Hopefully, it's not shiny. They're all a bit shiny, aren't they? Because of
football
shirt material.
Yeah.
Apart from when we had that Le Cork Sportif one, it was like really rough. Very strange fabric.
Okay.
Really rough, like kind of like quite heavy grit on it,
Like a hair shirt, like the monks used to wear.
No, more like you could kind of like sandpaper you could kind of sand down a wall with it or something.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Lovely on your nipples.
Yeah, well, it's a nice design though. But
okay,
nice fabric.
Oh, we'll see where that leads us.
We will. Anything? Any OB?
Don't think I got any AOB.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back after Wigan, middle of next week.
This time next week.
There's
nothing to say now, is there, on these? But thanks for sticking with it.
Oh, there's plenty to say.
Is there?
Yeah.
Maybe Caldwell will say something mad again, or
well, quite.
Or Hawker will crop up with something.
Yeah.
Not that he's never really said anything mad, has he? But
no, he says normal things.
Yeah.
Gary says aggressive things.
Hawker, very Devon.
Yeah.
Exeter sort of accent.
No one's accusing him of being aggressive.
No, you wouldn't dream of it.
Good luck to him.
Good luck to him and his all who serve under him.
Indeed. Thanks for listening.
You think I'm going to say something problematic about Hawker, don't you?
I feel like he's on the edge.
I'm not going to. I like the fella.
I know you do, yeah.
He does a great job.
He's never stopped you before, then. Talking to people who say mad things.
I've never said anything mad.
No, of course not.
What the key is, Gary, if you are going to say something mad, say it in a very unaggressive tone of voice.
Then you get away with anything.
Cheers, Taggy.
Thanks for listening, everyone. My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.